your name. I didn't know who that was. The
To
link
do
when I
better.
got it.
And we're live by the way, but I need to do better because that's the email I've been getting. I'm trying to get my business straight. I got different emails, but I still give out that one because that's the one I that's my go-to one. So I just got to
That's your
get more.
go-to. Okay.
Yeah, that's my go-to. That's the one.
Well,
That's the one
cool.
that probably got about 30,000 messages unread up in there. All the stuff.
Wow.
So I need that's why I need to get away from it because I there. Dr. Boy send me about 1,000 emails a day. To read them, send me 1,000. Like all the people I follow send all kind of emails all day long. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
welcome. Welcome to Wealth is Gangster. You know what I'm saying? This is another episode of what we do. You know, on this channel, we talk about wealth. We talk about just everything that got to do with our community. And a lot of people think wealth means money. Wealth means it's a lot of different things when it comes to wealth. You know what I'm saying? Just with resources, relationships, you know what I'm saying? Just different things that we can come together and do that has nothing to do with money. So I came to know if you, I was following you already, you know, following
Mm-hmm.
the New Era Dallas, but I had reached out to New Era Detroit, and I was like, you know, I want to get locked in, you know, I want to do something, but I wasn't ready to do a Central Texas or a Temple chapter. But I just want
Right.
because I mean, you know, I got a lot of stuff going on, so I don't know how much like to really take on a chapter. I don't know if I can really do that yet, but I know that they already had one about an hour and a half away. So when I reached out to
Yeah.
them, they told me to reach out to you. So ever since then, you know, we've been going back and forth, and we didn't locked in of sorts, you know. So
Yes.
let the Wealth is Gangster family know who you are. Just let a little bit know about you, and then we'll get into the questions and stuff.
Got you. Well, hello, Wealth is Gangster followers. I love the name. That's why I like to say that. But my name is Chelsea, Sister Chelsea, Queen Chelsea, just long as you address me respectfully. That's how I
Always,
say it. But
yes.
yeah, so a little bit about me. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a big, huge sports fan, if you didn't know. Who
Okay.
that nation stand up. And also I was raised in Birmingham, Alabama. Let's see what else about me. I'm a mom. I love sports. I'm an active mom. I love nature. I love adventure. I love to learn new things. What else? I love to travel. I actually have my own travel business. I
Okay.
do a lot of things, but those are my passion. Like travel, obviously being a mom. I'm actually a mixed fit trainer, so I'm huge into health and wellness.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's me, Chelsea.
So how did you get? Did you get here from New Orleans like during the what's the name, or you came on your own? Like how did you get from New Orleans to Dallas or Louisiana? You said Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Louisiana, yeah, New Orleans specifically. That's where my mom and dad are from.
Okay.
That's where I was born, but we left when I was very young. So they probably like, "Oh, you from New Orleans? You don't have the accent." No, I don't have the accent, but I have certain words that I say that are similar to the, you hear that NOLA accent. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I was raised in Birmingham, but I was pre-Katrina, so
Okay.
we left before Katrina. Thank God that, and a lot of my family that was in Katrina, they was able to get out, and a lot of them came to Dallas. Some in Houston, and then some even went to Atlanta, and then some went back. So,
Yeah. So
yep. But I came here from Birmingham.
do you do you go back a lot, or have you been back, or I guess
Yeah, well, I travel a lot. So the last time we was actually down there because we actually launched a New Era New Orleans chapter. We call it New Era NOLA, and that
okay,
was just last year. So they're new too.
okay,
And I definitely had to go. Well, I didn't have to go, but I like to go to a lot of times when we launch new chapters. I try to go to support. Obviously, like you were saying before, you feel like, oh, it's just me or I don't have the support. So that's why the other chapters, they definitely try to go to, show them this is how we do things so they don't feel like they're alone. And we still do that now. A lot of times we just support each other, even though we all around the world, we just,
yeah.
Be there for each other
Cause we
and
have
just
to,
see how
cause
we can support them.
yeah, we got to, cause you know it's not it's got better since the years ago when I first started this journey, but we still outnumber when it comes to this mindset of what we're trying to do for our people, and you know, and like even when we were talking, I'm like, be like, well, it's not a lot of men, or it's not. I'm like, in Dallas, you don't got a lot of people you can just call. You should like have at least 100 members, 200 members. Like, so that's the part about of this fight that we still battling. And I get it, and it's sad, but I mean, we still got to do the work. But I just like to call out my brothers, because this is the conversation I have with Black men, that we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I got the fatherhood brunch coming, and I'm always telling them, like, we have to become resources for our community, right? Like there's no reason why you should have 100 Black men that you more really Dallas. How many millions of people in Dallas? Like
a lot. It's a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
if Temple got less than 100,000, so I mean, I still should be able to call up 100 Black men. So if you in Dallas, you should, so that's the part. But that's that's not your fight. That's a fight that I got with not even a fight, but that's a conversation that I'm always addressing to Black men.
Yeah.
We have to be here. Not and our sisters, they doing their job, they holding us down, but we should be leaders. We should be providers, protectors, and leading the way. You know what I'm saying? Not that a woman can't lead, but it should be leaders around you. As you doing your thing, you should have a bunch of Black men leading around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's not in my DNA to lead. That's why when, I always say, hey, open the floor to my men, because I'm like, y'all are natural leaders. That's how y'all were created. So it's like, with me trying to lead this organization, it is hard. Doing this work is hard, and I know I need a partner, and that partner needs to be another man, right? So we have that, but it's like it's still not where it needs to be. And I know you are doing your thing where you are, and like I said, we have our volunteers and the guys who are helping us. Like, I salute them and I respect them and I appreciate it, but it's like, all right, I need you to take the extra step, like be like, all right, Chelsea, I'm a take the lead with this versus me doing it. But it's cool. Like I said, Black women been doing it for decades and generations. So
and that's why I say
when it's time for us to step up, we do it. You know,
for sure. That's naturally. You're gonna do that naturally. And that's why I say that's something that us men we gotta talk to each other and figure that out. That ain't something that you need to tell the men. Men should already know, first of all, but the ones that don't, I'm gonna bring it to the table. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no reason. I'm an hour and a half away, and I still trying to figure out ways that I can get more involved and connect what we're doing. Because I mean, an hour and a half is far, but it's not far. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't that far. So tell us what got you to. I don't really like to say activists and all that, because I feel like as a Black man and Black women, we should just be doing for our community. Like, I don't like even though the woke term and all that, you'll never hear like a Jewish person say, I'm woke Jewishly. No, you born into your culture and you live and die by that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we kind of throw words, and a lot of people say that, oh, y'all woke as a backhanded compliment or whatever. But to me, we should just, are you a leader? You just, no, I'm just a Black man trying to do better for my community. Don't mean I'm perfect. Don't mean I'm not no pastor or something and all that. And I tell people quick when they come to my program, like, I'm not here to push religion or nothing on kids. I'm here to make them a better person, a better version of whatever they are now. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So tell us, like, what got you into, if you want to call it activist work, or did you just grow up in a family that was just super pro-Black, or is this a journey that you just came on yourself?
Well, it's a little bit of both. So I guess how I was raised, to give a little background, like I said, both of my parents are from New Orleans, and my mom, when we came to Birmingham, my mom relocated because she actually was having a job opportunity, but she relocated and she got remarried as well. So my stepdad is actually from Birmingham, and so that's who raised me, my stepdad. And they were always his family was just always loving. They was in the church. My mom was the same way too. But she always like instilled in us just giving back, paying it forward, right? Because it's always someone who's less fortunate than you. So that's kind of like where that came from, just with serving. And then a lot of the schools that I went to, they was always big on just community service. Like my best friend, her mom, she had like a nonprofit. It was called Girls in Action. And she got a lot of the girls from like grade school up until high school to do like a big brother, big sister program. Like, we were the leaders in our community. So we would do certain things. We would do Black history programs, do all these things targeting Black girls, obviously girls as whole, but really focusing on Black young girls. And that's kind of one staple that also led to just doing more community work because we was doing a lot. And this started probably like in middle school and high school when we was doing this. So that was one of the ways outside of my childhood. And then outside of high school, when I got to college, I went to a Catholic school. I got a little bit of everything in my background. I went to a Catholic school. It's a Jesuit school. And people will be like, you going to this Catholic school? You know, they would make fun like, y'all ain't, you know, it's not like a real college, but it was. Them folks partied and drank like it wasn't nobody's business. And but their whole like mission statement for the school was about serving, you know, being leaders of tomorrow and serving the community. So I had to do like a work study, I guess that's what you call it, or co-op or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that I actually had to go into the school. So I was a tutor for kindergarten, third grade, and then I had wound up transitioning to high school. So I did that like my entire 4 years in college. So doing that. And then when I got to, I guess, fast forward to my adulthood, obviously right before COVID, so it was like 2019, I just had, I guess, like you were saying, just being a better version of myself. And I just really started just focusing on things with myself and personal development and things that I just wanted to do better. And then I just had this epiphany. I was like, you know, I just want to start giving more, you know, to the community. But I was like, I need to be focusing more on us. Because I was like, we always giving to the homeless, that same old stuff. But I was like, we need to just liberate us as a Black people. It need to be more of us in the community doing things. So that was just kind of me on my own doing that and just taking that lead and like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then that's when I found out about New Era Detroit. Okay. And I found out about New Era Detroit because one of the girls who I worked with at Wells Fargo, she actually was from Detroit. And she was like, well, Chelsea, you can come out. We do a lot of community events. And I didn't know what it was. I was like, okay, maybe it's like a little, you know, community service like I was doing all the years before. But then when I saw what the movement was about, I was like, oh, this is right up my alley. This is what I was saying I wanted to do, focus on my people. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, they really about it. Like they in the streets, like they doing it. And then I thought it was just Detroit, but come to realize it was in Birmingham. So we have a chapter in Birmingham, Alabama. Yep. And our sister chapter is Atlanta. Okay. So we did a lot of things with them as well. So yeah, when I started, that was in 2019 when I started with New Era Nation. And I've been doing the work since then. And I see, you know, just really being in it, not just that little old holidays or just like you said, you know, those one time, like, no, this is a everyday thing. We are constantly doing stuff. Yeah. And it's tiring. It is. But it's like, it's so worth it when you go to our people and they see, they like, because they never seen nothing like this before. They like, who are y'all? Where y'all come from? They so used to like Black Lives Matter and all these other organizations that pop up for the holidays. Yeah. We like, no, we here just to show love, to give y'all information, give y'all resources. We doing the work before it gets to the point where they shooting us down and doing all this other craziness that we see on the news every day. Yeah. So it's like, it starts with us and we trying to lead the way and be that light for our community.
That's dope. So you started off with the Birmingham chapter. Mm-hmm. So, but you was living in Dallas already. You were just messing with or you was in Birmingham when you started?
No, I was in Birmingham. So I was still living in Birmingham. I didn't move to Dallas until 2020. Okay. So it was interesting just how my journey was because it's like when I really started pouring into myself and focusing on me and doing things that was bigger than me, it was like things started progressing for me. One of those progressions was obviously me moving to Dallas because I was getting like outgrowing Birmingham and I was doing a lot and helping Birmingham, but it was just too small of a city for my big personality and what I want to do in my dreams and aspirations. Yeah. So when I got to Dallas, I was like, oh, this is right up my alley. I love the people. I love, you know, just the city and all of that and all the opportunities. And I found out that we had a chapter here and they had actually just started it. It was one of the former kings who was with us. He's from Detroit. He started it. His name was King Ron. And then him and his lady had actually started the program. Okay. So he had already kind of knew the foundation and fundamentals as well because he's from Detroit and he started with the New Era Detroit chapter. So, once I got to Dallas, I connected with him. he knew I knew the work from doing it in Birmingham. And so we kind of just was tag teaming it, doing it all together. And then he wound up, stepping down. He had to take care of some other things. And he was like, Chelsea, I want you to take the lead, because he knew I knew pretty much as what he had did just from doing the time that I had put in. So that's where I am now. That's how I got in the position I am now. And yeah, we just continue to doing the work.
That's dope. That's dope. So what is the, I ain't gonna say hardest, what's the most challenging in your role of what you do every day with New Era Dallas? What is the most challenging? I mean, I know it's a lot of different challenges, but just if you could think of like the one or two that is a constant hurdle, a constant, a constant battle. Is it dealing with the people? Is the funding? Like what's a everyday struggle that you have to go over or deal with?
I would just say the challenge is me myself being consistent in the work. Because like you said, it's so much work, and you be like, okay, you want to continue being that great leader and everything, but just that would be my own personal challenge, is being consistent. And I think what allows me or drives me to continue being consistent is when I see all of the continued issues and things people send to my DMs and everything like that. Like, people are looking to us to be like the superhero, to save and do all the things that we need to as a community. But it's like, we are only a select few. It takes all of us, like we are just a name. I'm just one person. You are just one person. So it takes all of us collectively. And it just makes me think about, like, right now, what's going on in the news is about the young boy in Kansas City. They got shot. And I see all of these people out here protesting. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's great and that's good. But it's like, people need to wake up. It's like, you gotta do the work before it gets to that point. We know the issues that we're fighting in America and everything like that. But let's come together collectively, just like you coming together for that protest. Let's do that beforehand. Let's start spending the money with ourselves. Let's do all the things we need to do as a community and stick together and stay together and love each other. It wouldn't get to that point. You know what I mean? And if something did pop off, we gonna know it's gonna get handled. It's not gonna be that same old routine where you see people protesting and walking. Like, that's the same old stuff.
Yeah.
We did that with George Floyd. So it's like, it's a cycle. Yeah. And it's like, we gotta do something else. How do you do something else to make these people understand we are human beings? You have to treat us like that and not just trying to shoot us dead like we just some animals, like they did this young boy. Yeah. So it's like, what can you do to make them see that? Well, for one, what I say is, and you talk about this all the time, is you hurt them where their pocket is.
Yeah.
That's how you get their attention. Hurt them where their pocket is. Don't spend money with them. Spend it with us. Stop talking about, the price is too high, all that stuff. The price is going to be something. You got to start somewhere.
Got to. That's the key.
You got to start somewhere. And I know they say, we know it's always going to be a good and a bad. It's always going to be there. But it's like, just change that mindset of, okay, think about the bigger picture. Look at what you're doing when you help that small business owner or whatever like that in your community. Not in these other communities that ain't giving no funding. Your tax dollars ain't going nowhere towards that's helping us. So it's like, it's so much bigger than the little things that we talk about, and we just be, it's like, it's simple things. It's like, you got to think bigger, so.
It needs to me, it's easier if it's your lifestyle, right? Like everything I do, a lot of people say, you do a lot. No, I don't. I tell to build a nation, you have to do all these things. You got to be able to feed yourself, house yourself, clothe yourself, educate yourself, employ yourself, and protect yourself. Like, so why is that a lot when that's just a survival, what we need to survive? But if you work a double at your job, that's great. You know what I'm saying? You're doing too much then. So that's our mindset though, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? We're like, when people ask me, are you going to protest this? I'm not going to protest nothing. Why? Because my lifestyle is a protest. I don't need to see a new Black person get killed or shot, or I don't need to hear about this such and such company is racist. I know all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't have to wait until something new happens. I'm still traumatized about what happened in the 90s, the 80s. Like, this stuff been happening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, so I don't need a new event to make me, I'm getting re-mad again. No, I stay mad 24/7, but not mad where it's counterproductive. Mad where I stay focused on the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. And you all about solutions, and that's what we have to be mindful of. It's like we know what the issues are. We see it every day.
Yeah.
Now let's come up with the solutions and how we can make this better. That's what should be fueling us every time we see them shooting us down and all these things and the laws and stuff that they passing. That should be like, okay, I got to be a part of something that's bigger than me. Exactly. And New Era Dallas is that, and so is Wealth is Gangster. And they probably got a million other organizations, but we collectively have to come together and, like you said, build that nation, that community, like what we had, that our ancestors had. You know what I mean? We got to go back to that. And we ain't saying we got to be like them, but we got to take those fundamentals and what they was doing, because they was more bold than we was. They was more courageous than we was. Like, you ask me, especially back then. You know what I mean?
We supposed to be a better version of them. That's what we supposed to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like sometimes I feel like we're going backwards, but it's still us. It's people like us that's out there that is doing the work. It's just not enough of us. Right. So it's just like, man, it's crazy. But ultimately, I just look at it like, we collectively, if we all get together, we'll be fine. We have to just get there though, because like I said, it's only one of us, and that's what New Era Dallas is doing. We all about solutions. We have the programs. We setting the black print, so we can continue this for generations, not just for a good time or for a holiday.
And that's the thing for generations. Like my my Tuesday show I do with Miss Rhonda Brown, and that show is called Bridging the Gap. And I came up with that concept because, she's an older lady, but I love her soul, right? And I'm like, that's part of our problem. The older people point their finger down at the younger people. The younger people don't want to listen to the older people. I'm 40, so I'm kind of like in the middle. I deal with nothing but the youth, but I remember being that youth that didn't feel like the older people understood me. So, you know what I'm saying? I gotta, but I do understand some of our youngsters are out of control too. But I get it. And that's what I say. I check them, but then I check the elderly too, because if you're going to fuss at the youngsters for being out of control or whatever, you got to ask yourself, what institution did you build? What have you done to put that this youngster can even have a different way to go? If you ain't never built nothing, if you ain't never did nothing, if you ain't never had a program, if you don't do none of this stuff, and this is kind of what I'm going through right now in the city of Temple. I have a lot of church folks mad at me because I've been calling out our black preachers. Like, I'm going around nothing with the kids. I'm dealing with all these nonprofits. I'm dealing with everybody, right? But only time I see an organization that has anything for black kids, it's a white church. And that's odd to me. All these black churches we got have no after school programs, have no fee. I mean, they gonna give you something for Christmas and Thanksgiving, but I'm talking about 365 days a year. I don't want no turkey for Thanksgiving. I want to show our people how to put themselves in a position where they don't need no turkey. You know what I'm saying? But if and it's always good to give to people, but I'm talking about in the numbers. You don't see turkey drives in the suburbs because they all straight. I want our people to be all straight, and then it's always gonna be people that need, so we can always take care of us. But as a whole, we need to be more on our game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's so true. And that's why I say it's not consistent. So that's why, like, when we are out in the community, it's very shocking and mind-blowing to our people, because they like, who are y'all? Like, we've never seen this before. We've never seen somebody on a regular Sunday out here protesting, out here giving out stuff. Like, they like, what y'all want? When we went and protested, well, we weren't protesting, when we was marching, because that's what we do. We march and we go through neighborhoods, just in case nobody know who New Era Dallas is that's watching tonight. We actually march just like how the Black Panthers did, and we go through, and we have armed kings who have a background in the military. They're protecting the women and children. We just walking in formation. But when people see us, they either get scared, they don't know what to do. They like, okay, what they doing? They think we Black Lives Matter. No, we are out just showing love, because we want to be that light to let people know, hey, we got to come together. We got to be self-sufficient, and we got to rely on us. Right? Yeah. And so bottom line, when we going out, like I said, we just talking to the people, trying to hear what their issues are and concerns are. So maybe we can implement something in the program to help them, or, you know, like I said, raise the money to get the funding, because we don't get any funding from outside. All of this come from our own pockets, right?
Yeah.
We all work. Some of us have our own businesses. We work corporate jobs, whatever, but we using this money and fueling it right back into the nation, and we giving it to our people. So it's like, if we know somebody in need, we're gonna give it to them. We cater to the youth, we cater to the elderly and the women. And then of course we have programs for our men as well to support them through the elite. But bottom line is, we out there, and people, like, they just be so shocked. And then one church, we was outside, they was doing some little fundraiser, and they was like, oh goodness, they was thinking they was gonna have to call the law on us. And they was like, oh, y'all all about love. They thought we was Black Lives Matter finna come in and, you know, try to mess up the church or something. We was like, no, we out here trying to show love. But it just, once again, it's that mindset, because they haven't seen anything like us or organization in what we do. So it's like, it's foreign. But that's why we trying to change the narrative, and like, we trying to make this a norm. We trying to become a household name and scratching that Black Lives Matter. Nothing's wrong with Black Lives Matter, but it's like, if you really do the research, you'll find out a lot of things about Black Lives Matter that ain't even what we think it is. You know what I'm saying?
I don't rock with it. I don't rock with it at all. I rock with the phrase. I rock with the phrase, but the organization, I'm good.
Yeah, and how it was founded. I don't even think it was founded by a Black person. I don't know.
George Soros, you know what I'm saying? Nah, George Soros, he was the money behind that. So
right. So it's like, it's
that's more of a democratic shield. You know, that's all that is.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's more to that. So I'm like, yeah, go get with you some people who right there in your community who know what's going on. It will help you, because more than likely, people who watching this, we have a chapter or can start a chapter in your area. It's just a matter of time, because we're growing. We got a lot of people that's paying attention.
Yeah, we definitely gonna bring one to Central Texas real soon. But I want to partner up with y'all first, because I wanted to, and me, I guess I do everything the way I would want somebody to do it to me, right? Like, like we always say, we want us to come together, and that's true in bigger numbers, but we don't want. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
I know. Look, it's
it wouldn't be a good thing if every Black person came with us, right? Because we're gonna have the infiltrators, we're gonna have the people that's working for the system. We're gonna always have an element of that, and so. I guess I was thinking like that when I reached out to New Era Detroit, because I was like, I want to, if somebody come to me, I want to see what you're doing. I want you to prove that you're really about that work. I don't want nobody just pop up out of nowhere that ain't got no record and say, I want to start a chapter. You might be the feds, I don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So and that's why I came with this, because I could show the work, but I want to put in some work before I even talk about a chapter. You know what I'm saying? I want to come up there with you and do the toys in the hood and go talk to the schools, and then you already see what I do every day. So then when we talk about a chapter, okay, yeah, that's official, because he been with us. He ain't just pop up out of nowhere. You can go back and look at his for years. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like at the same time, we want all of us to come together with the mindset. All of us coming together in the room, we need to make sure we filter that out right, because I have a little segment coming out called Lessons from the Ancestors. And one of the first ones I'm going to talk about is the Black Panthers. I'm going to talk about how they could have sustained their Feed the Children program, because that's a great idea. The government took it and gave free. But the thing about it is, how do we sustain it? So we do a lot of good morally things from our heart. But I want to be able to feed y'all for years. I don't want to be able to feed y'all just for 3 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or how can we sustain that? So we got to have everything that we do has to be sustainable. And we can't be scared to ask for money. We can't be scared to sell stuff. We can't be scared to do none of that to our community, because we're doing it for our community.
Right.
And that's another battle that what y'all doing. Like, even when I got the House of Resources, I wouldn't go to my community and be like, oh, I want this building. It costs $300,000, right? I would never got that $300,000, but I'm gonna say, like, I got the building already. Help me raise money to get it open. Now our people can digest that a little better. You know what I'm saying? And that's still hard within itself, but I get more people than I would have got if I said I need 300,000.
And that's why it's good to have different parts of people in the movement, because you got a lot of people who, like you was talking about, the elders. They may have already done the work, but they ain't finna be out here in these streets doing what we doing as young people. They might could just help fund the organization, right? Then you got the young people. They may not know a lot, but they know how to get the message out, right? Because they say the youth is the future. They know how to market and get that information out. So we could use them, to a certain aspect. So it's like everybody is important and they can, add to the movement. So it's just like, yeah, we can't take everybody because some people just not gonna get there. Or if they do it, it's just gonna take them a while. But ultimately, everybody has their part, so that's why we say it just goes
now,
back.
when I say not everybody, I'm talking about the ones that we would love to have, but would only come in just to infiltrate. Now, if you, some people that just ain't got it yet, and that's okay. But I'm talking about the people that don't want to have it; they just want to be against what we're doing.
And we have to be real. We have to be
real. We at war, so we have to be real with ourselves. Every one of our ancestors, every one of our ancestors groups that was always infiltrated by somebody that looked like us.
That's true.
Of course, they were sent by the system, but they always came in smiling, talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, black power, right.
You know what I'm saying?
We have to be mindful of that. And that's something we go through all the time, which is, like I said, we have seasoned people who've been in the nation. They know about this work. They know the history. They just very educated. And that's what I love about the nation. Because we all just go vibe off of each other, and it's just good to have that because, like you said, you have people who one of our kings, his grandfather was walk with MLK, so he knows a lot. You know what I mean? Like, he back in Birmingham, and then a lot of the kings from Detroit, they got they history. They know how the streets are. It's just a lot, but it's just like this is stuff that we have to be mindful of because of the work that we're doing. And anytime we know when you're trying to liberate Black people and give them the freedoms that we definitely deserve and earn, it's going to always be something, So like you said, you're right. We do have to be mindful of that. And sometimes I feel like people let the fear kick in and it's like, no, don't be fearful. You just have to keep doing it. Cause I'm like, we live in a digital era. These folks know everything, they can see everything. So anytime they want to come in they can come in. But bottom line, we got to be ready.
Yeah.
And prepared for all of that.
All that, So tell us, I know you said you into fitness and different things like that. Why? And then I know, I can't remember the queen's name. You be doing that you did a couple episodes with. I think she deal with you abuse women. Yeah, women that
she does yoga.
No, the lady that does talks about the sexual abuse or the abuse.
Oh yeah, her name is oh gosh, Della Sean.
Okay, yeah,
I caught our truth.
Yeah, I caught your episode, a couple of y'all episodes. So tell us like the different. I mean, because we, I focus on the wealth side because I focus on the power, right? I got partners that do the religion, this and that. And like I tell them, you might be right. I don't want to go. I focus on solutions. So my opinion or how I feel or that personal feeling, I don't get into all that. I get into how do we get to a position of power. Once we get in a position of power, then we can argue back and forth about the original this, the that, and the that. And I'm not saying you're lying, but I'm saying it's irrelevant in the situation that our people is in right now. Once we get out of that situation, then we can have those conversations. But we can't have them when we at the bottom of the totem pole. And I done read more books, so I'm writing. You know what I'm saying? To me, I call it jailhouse talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the different issues. I mean, I know you're the. You over the new era Dallas, so you take on all issues, but the issues that I know, it's a couple that I know are near and dear to your heart, like the wellness and stuff like that. So tell us some of your core issues and why you push and fight for those issues.
Yeah, so I guess to start out, one of my main personal issues that I've even experienced myself is, like you were saying, which is bridging the gap. Between the Black man and the Black woman. Yes. With me being a single mom and just learning how to navigate different relationships, and perfect example, the relationship with my son's dad, I see those, deep rooted issues that we have. And it's like, like they said, the family can't stay together. It's broken, and that's not good. Yeah. So I wanted to take the initiative in regards to like what I saw with New Era Detroit is I love how we are a family and the importance of how we stress keeping the family together and how strong we are. Because we know this Black fist, we know it's power, but it's a reason why we got it like this, because it's like when we together, you can't do nothing with us. Yeah. We unbreakable. So the dynamic that I had with my son's dad, I was like, I definitely don't like the situation, but I had to just look in the mirror, right? And be like, okay, what is something that I can do to make myself better as a Black woman, so I'm not doing certain things that's impacting the Black man or my future husband or whoever it is. It could be a friend or whoever it is, but it's just that opposite sex. So with that being said, like I said, it goes back to that personal development. And like we always talk about changing that mind. And like you said, you focus on power, but I'm like, how can we even get to that point where we saying, oh, we want to be together, we want to, have this nation and all these resources, when you ain't even right within, right? Because it starts with you. Yeah. So I feel like that's an important thing, is tackling the mental and the emotional traumas that we deal with. And once we get that together within our own selves, then we can elevate. We could do all of these great things. But if we don't have that together, how can we come together? So it starts with the person when you look in the mirror. So that's what I had to do personally. So anything on emotional, mental, psychological, on that side, like trauma, I'm all for that. And like you said, wellness does start. Everybody thinks physical, but it's also emotional too. It's your insides. That's more important than anything. So, because if not, it's going to come out. You be like, oh my gosh, they're such an ugly person. Like, what's wrong with them? So I feel like it's so important to just be emotionally intelligent. And when I see a man like that who can express himself and still be masculine, it's like, oh my gosh, that's like a huge turn on for me. Like, that's amazing, because I know men, like we said, are natural leaders. They're good. They're analytical. They're good at just most of the things that I would say that we would think that they are. But when you are in tune with your feminine side too, oh my gosh, that's powerful. And you can't, and we know we got a lot of Black women that are masculine now. They're strong and they're independent. But it's like, no, we should just be more feminine. Let's tune into that. So anything regarding relationships and how we can be better amongst ourselves, I'm all into it. I'm all ears. I'm all talk. Let's talk about it, because I don't feel like we talk about it enough.
No, we don't.
And that's the things that's going to bridge that gap. That's going to help us change our mindset.
Yeah.
So and then we could transition to the foods we eat. That's a big, huge part too. The food people diet is completely different. Foods are different, and that also impacts your insides and your mindset. So it's like, it's a lot, but it starts with, okay, what is wrong with me? What can I fix, or what can I do better? And then you go from there. So
no, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why I love teaming up with other like-minded individuals, because we at war on so many fronts. But one person it's like we all try to do our good positive stuff in our own little pockets, right? Mm-hmm. But the negativity teams up. It swarms our kids in our community 24 hours a day, from the media, from the Reddit, everything. That's 24 hours. That's a big wave that just drowning our community every day, right? Mm-hmm. And then we doing our positive thing. Okay, you over there, I'm over there. And that's why I reached out, because I'm doing my thing in Temple, but what is that going to do if I don't see y'all doing a good work and I don't reach out and see how can we do something? How can we connect it from Detroit to Dallas, from Dallas to Temple, and just keep that going? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just keep that going, because we have to be able to combat the negativity that our youth are seeing. I focus on the youth. It's our community as a whole, but like you say, that mindset is so hard to break when you get a certain age. It ain't that it can't break, because my mindset changed in 30, you know what I'm saying? My mindset changed. I went from 11 years old. I started running away. I left my mama's house at 12, so I was on my own in the streets. Whatever, I did all that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And even then, I had started my first business at 17, my music company. So I always wanted it, but all I knew was the street vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I just couldn't figure it out. I didn't have no internet when I was doing all this stuff in the early 2000s. We were just figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, we were just trying to figure it out. So that's why I'm so focused on the youth, because if we could plant those seeds young, no matter what they go through, the ups, downs, or indifferent, if you plant all those seeds young, they're going to come out a lot better than us that didn't have no seeds planted into us. The only thing that was planted into me was try to make it to the pros, be good, be quiet, be submissive, don't mess that, don't get that white man mad, don't go to jail, go to the military, or go to college to get a good job. It's like 6 things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
now that I'm older, it's like a million things that I can be successful at. Nobody ever told me that.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's so important. And I think that is a good way to focus and to determine our future, because we know it's a lot of things going on. But like you said, how can we turn our future? Well, it's looking a lot brighter for us as a people and as a community. And it's like we have to turn to the youth, because that's what Zeke, our leader for New Era Nation, he was saying, like, you know, we obviously focus on the community and us as adults, but he realized it wasn't effective, right? So he realized, because we focus more on the youth, they're more impressionable, and they need the role models, because a lot of them don't even have it.
Man,
so it's like
we was at a meeting the other day, the guy said that.
Right, focus on them and change their future, and be like, okay, they can carry on what you have going on in Temple. They can carry on what New Era Dallas got going on, or New Era Nation as a whole. Yeah. So it's like we have to kind of change who our target audience is, unfortunately, because it's like, you know, the adults, they can make their own decision. You either with us or you gonna watch us. What you gonna do? You either with the solutions or you're not. But the kids, if you show them something different, they will be like, that light bulb gonna go off, and they're gonna be like, look, I'm with it. You know, and we see that a little bit. I see that how the generations are different. I see these younger kids are a lot more vocal, you know, about things that's going on. Some things they vocal about is not what's needed to be said, but for the most part, they speak out about their opinion about things that are injustices. Let's just say that. And I like that, because a lot of times people are quiet, and it's like, nah, they ain't having it. They like, we finna get out here and protest. We finna stop this, or whatever that they, however they feel. They get out there.
Yeah, we definitely, and that's what and see what we doing, because I have people, believe it or not, I teach kids financial literacy and knowledge of self and stuff like that. I have parents that'll tell me, well, I think my kid might be too young for all that. I'm like, hey, you go put your ear to the door. Them kids in there talking like they 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you will put them, and see, my biggest battle right now is the parents that's drowning our kids in the sports. And I have no problem with sports. My problem is only 0.5% gonna ever get a professional check from that. So if we got 1 million kids thinking they all gonna make it, but it's only 300 jobs available, I think it's a disservice to lots of those kids. Like I did an event yesterday, and it was ran by a guy that they had their whole foot, it was like basically a football thing for kids, but it was a leadership camp. But it was every kid there think they're gonna make it to the pros. And I don't know. I think, and I rub some coaches a little funny, because I'm the booth. When they get to my booth, I'm like, what percentage of people make it to the professional? 40%, 50%. These kids think that they're, in their mind, no one has ever been real with them.
Yeah, that's what I say. You speak the truth to them, and they ain't used to that. It's not a lot of truth tellers anywhere.
It ain't about don't play sports. Play sports, but make sure you get all this other stuff. So if you don't make it, but even if you do, say you lucky and you part of the 1%, right? Half of them end up broke because they still don't know nothing about money. They get robbed by a Jewish lawyer or this person or that person. So even if you are part of that 1%, you need to know this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why they don't talk about that enough. And a lot of these players like Marshawn Lynch, he talked about it. We know they got the movie Concussion that Will Smith played in. But Marshawn Lynch said that he was a running back. He was like, listen, if y'all can go another route, do it. Because, after they retired, they be all banged up or whatever. And it's like, what's going on? And they having all these long-term effects. And I just ran into an OG when I was in Academy Sports. He said he played Division I football, but he said all the cats that he went to college with either died or dead or banged up. He got out at, I think his second year in college, he said he got hurt. And he had to, start working, get a regular job. But they got to be more vocal about it. And like you said, we need more role models such as yourself that's showing these young boys you can still get rich off of other things outside of sports.
Really rich, richer.
Yeah, exactly. The way the online stuff, all this stuff they can do, gaming, they can do so much. It's so much more than just sports. And like you said, that's a great hobby to have to keep you active and in good health.
Yeah, sports do give you a lot of things. The problem is if you feed it to all these kids that come from the inner city and they all in their head think they're gonna be like LeBron, and you as an adult not sitting there saying you can be great, keep working out, keep doing this, But let me show you about credit. Let me show you about real estate. Let me show you about a bunch of other fields that if this don't work, don't deter them from sports. You want them to be excited about something, but you want to be real. Like I always, one thing I have a problem with, right? My first CEO Youth League meeting. Matter of fact, I'm coming up on May, so I'm coming up on my second year. I had a lady. I mean, it was sprinkling, like literally sprinkling outside, right? But the sun was out. You know how sometimes it's sprinkling, but the sun is shining, right?
Yeah.
The lady called me and told me she couldn't make it because of the weather. This is the same mother that I done seen drive through a tornado to get to a football game, right? So what are you telling your kid? If you tell your kid, the kids see that it's sunny with a little sprinkles, but the kids see that you drove through a tornado to get to a football game. You just told that kid that these sports are way more important than an investing thing. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So now he growing up like, I don't care about no investing in this. My mom told me to focus on strictly sports. You just program that person to be a failure. Even if they do make it to the league, they'll end up a failure because you gave them no other tools but sports. What if that knee blow out? What if that agent say, hey, I got it. You just give me all your money. I got you. Don't worry about it. You just go play football. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Because you don't know no better. He's going to be like, I got some millions. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, please just give me an allowance every month and you do what you want to do with my money. Because you don't know what to do with it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So we have to program our kids how to be better. And like the kids that I meet, even when we talk about music, what are we going to do about the music? We need to change the lyrics. We can't change the lyrics unless we can fund them to talk different. So I got a program that I'm gonna for the most popular positive song. I'm gonna put you in the studio, pay for the EP, do all that. But it got to be. It don't got to be no church music, but it just it may be. I'm a killer N-word. It can't be that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can talk about whatever you can have fun. You can talk about the girls. You can talk about whatever. I ain't telling you got to have no gospel song, but you cannot talk about killing nobody. You cannot talk about like I always tell my artists, the
cars, the clothes, all it, that don't matter.
That don't matter. Let's talk about how we can, even if you want to talk about the hood, let's talk about what you see and how you can fix it. Like just put a different narrative on it. You know what I'm saying? So, but we got to incentivize that. We can't just tell them to change everything. Like when I deal with the elder, we can't tell the youth to change something and then they look around and like, well, how I'm gonna eat tonight? You ain't got no institution for me. Where I'm gonna go after school? Ain't no safe space for me to go. Only play. You at work all day because you didn't do nothing. You didn't invest. You didn't do what. You didn't put yourself in position to put us in a better position. So while you working doubles, I'm at the house with the homies, and what they doing? They telling me to go to the streets, and what they doing? I'm getting money out there. I'm watching YouTube, so now I want to be gang. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's a trickling effect on how all they go, and that's why I say no matter what problems we got, no matter what it is, it always goes back to finances on some level or not. Like we send our kids to school. Most of these schools we know trash, but they gotta go. Why? Because the parent gotta go to work. We need somebody to babysit. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true. That's so true.
So that's what we're doing, and that's why I'm just so excited to link up with you. I can't wait till we officially link up. I know June 17th for sure. If we don't meet each other, well, no, you coming down?
No, I'm coming down. I'm coming down there, y'all. I'm coming to Temple on the 29th. So y'all will see me.
And once again, like I say, everything I do it goes to those my 6 rules of feeding ourselves, housing ourselves, clothing ourselves, educating ourselves, and then protecting it. So on the 29th, we're gonna have at the House of Resources, Shield of Valor, Executive Protection. It's a couple guys, ex-vets that started the Executive Protection Company. And when I got with them, they just didn't have the business part, right? They was kind of lost on the business part. So I'm doing that, trying to get the marketing together. But the Executive Protection, that's kind of like Secret Service. That's like a level under Secret Service. So what I did was like, that's cool. We can get it. We can get contracts. We can get stuff. That's cool. But how are we gonna protect our communities? We need car patrols. We need community patrols. So I'm bringing that element of that to them, And I told them just see what Zeke and
we doing it, y'all.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. The New Era Elite, right?
Yep. Yeah. In the safe zones we have, like
the safe zones and all that, and that's why. When I was so excited about teaming up with y'all because we already doing it in our own lane. Why not partner up? Like why we should have a event like you say when them kings are strapped up and everything. We got our Executive Protection Company. They're too doing the same thing. Like you know what I'm saying. So and that's how we build our little armies. That's how we build our village. That's how we protect and promote each other and push each other out of there. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Shalom family? You know what I'm saying? I got Got some
Got
another.
some people on say that they'll see the recording. What's up, Michael? But yeah, I mean, and look, if we came down there for real in Temple, we'll shake, they'll coddle on us. And most of the time when we are in the community, probably 75% of the time, police always get involved.
Oh yeah.
And they always tell us, we don't say nothing to them. We let the elite handle it. But
Yeah.
they always messing with us. We
But
like, look, we ain't trying to start none of that. But I know if we all came down collectively to Temple, we'll shut Temple down.
Oh yeah, for
They'll
sure.
be like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be on y'all local news stage. They be like, oh my gosh.
But that and I swear I posted it was probably about 6 months ago. So I kind of like seen this coming, right? Because I was like, because I'm always sharing on Facebook. I told you I'm trying to get more on Instagram, but because it's more local. So I'm always talking to my local people. Facebook is more local. So I share some of Zeke's stuff. I've been sharing that for years, but I know it was a couple times when they went in there and checked them preachers, and it's been a couple things, and I'm like, y'all ain't ready for this. I better not bring this to Temple. I'm always telling them that.
Right, and that miss went by. Like, I mean, Detroit. We know Detroit is a chocolate city, but Zeke loves his city. I mean, it's just passion. He doing what he knows and feels is best for the people. You know what I mean? And we need more leaders like him because it's rare to find those truth tellers. You a truth teller. You a rare breed. It's not too many of y'all kings that's out there. So y'all gotta stick together. Y'all gotta stand up, and y'all gonna have the people that follow y'all. The people who need to follow y'all, they gonna be there. And we believe in everything that Zeke is doing and what he's building. And like we said, regardless of what with Zeke, he's building stuff long term. Yeah. So it's like this is for all of us, like you said, sustainable things that this can go on for generations. This is his baby. He has his family that he wants to have this, carry this on. So it's a lot, but it's like it's gonna be so worth it. And to know that we are part of something like this and we building something like this, nobody may know what's going on now. And today, April 17th, 2023. But they definitely will know 5-10 years from now because they've been doing this work for 8 years now. Yeah. And they've gotten a lot of attention. And I mean, celebrity attention. I'm thinking to myself, Zeke knows a lot of people. Yeah. But, they know what it is at the end of the day. Yeah. They know who's doing the work. Sure. We ain't got to be in headline news. We just going to continue doing what we doing. And when that time comes for people to know, they're going to be there. It's going to be there.
For sure. So tell us about, I know we got the June 17th. So tell everybody about a couple of events that are coming up and just the next 5 years of your vision. I know Zeke got a vision, but I want your vision and not that you running things or doing things, but what you see or what you would like to see or what you're going after.
Yeah. So just about some of the local events, like I said, we always doing stuff. For instance, one of the programs that we do here is Buy Black tours. And that's basically, kind of going back to what Tony is talking about in regards to just pumping that money into our small business owners, specifically Black owned businesses. And in Dallas, Fort Worth area, if y'all from Texas, y'all know we got a lot of them here. A lot of people coming from all over the world. So we just make sure we pour into them and partner with them. So anything that we want to do as a program or in the community where there's a need or a lack, they're able to help fund it. So that's the whole initiative behind that, to fuel our program or the business so they can pump it right back to the people who need it. All the time when we say, the kids don't have certain things or whatever it is, the seniors, that's what that's for. So we call that the Buy Black tour, and we do that the first weekend of every month. So that is coming up on May 4th. May 6th. Excuse me. That's the first weekend we're doing that. And then for the remaining of this month, we actually have a wellness walk that we're going to be doing, but we're going to actually do like a whole fit camp. So since we focus mainly on health and wellness here in Dallas, we're going to do a fit camp this Saturday. And we're just going to have it where we record it live to show people different movements and things to stay active, to keep their body in good shape. But as a collective, we call it wellness walks or health and wellness programs. And then the other thing we're doing is like melanated talks. We do different things, like when I was talking about emotional, trauma, all of those different things where we have those different topics about issues a lot of people don't want to talk about. That's called Melanated Minds, and we do those. It varies. It could be like on a Tuesday or Wednesday or a Friday typically, but we have various days. We may just want to have those conversations. And then lastly, we have the biggest program, which is our Hood to Hood, which is when I was discussing saying how we are in the neighborhood walking information, and we have our New Era Elite, and we're passing out resources, talking to the people, trying to figure out what it is that they actually need. And it's just a random day. But this year, we're doing it on June 17th. It's going to be right here in Dallas, and we'll probably go to South Dallas. We normally pick a Black area, just an area that's kind of, going through a lot of the impoverished area, low income. So we try to go to those to really plant those seeds there, especially with the kids there as well. Yeah. So we'll be there on June 17th, and then we'll go to Houston, which is our sister chapter, on June 18th, because we have a king out there that's doing a lot of work just like you're doing. And I would love for y'all to connect, Tony, because he out there running for city council. He doing some major things. So he trying to really change the community. And his name is Lloyd, but he's a local Houston, and he Houston native, and he just been doing that work for the longest. And he's the one who launched the Houston chapter. So that's what we have going from April to May, or technically now until June. And then I would say the vision that I have for New Era Dallas, oh goodness, I would just say we just have more members, definitely a lot more volunteers. If you saw that video go viral with the whole situation with Kyle, if we had that just amount of people doing that for New Era Dallas, or for all of our chapters, that would just make my heart so happy. Yeah. So that's really what I just want more of us to be coming together and fueling all of these different programs that we have, and having all of these different partnerships with these Black business owners, because I feel like when we have all of that together, oh my gosh, it's just gonna be amazing. But that's my vision of having just amount of people that we have for these protests when we see on the TV, on a normal everyday basis, doing this work for people who are in need and lack of, and just doing that work so we can, like you said, have the nation and being self-sufficient that we need to be.
That's dope. I love that. And I want to figure out something, because I got family up there. So I need to get the Negroes in my family up there. I need to get them tapped in. But I'm trying to figure out something. I was just thinking as you was talking. We'll talk off camera, but I want to figure out how to do like maybe a collab event up there. We get a little spot. I come up there and do a CEO Youth League. You know what I'm saying? We do a joint collaboration, and I'll do something for the kids. We find a little location. I mean, you can find a location and let me know. You point the location to me. We book the space. We book the space, book the date. I get my people in that area, and at the same time, that'll get us to do some stuff for the youth. But then that'll get me to get some of my family up there, to just be able to show up to support me and love, and show me love, but kind of see, man, this is in y'all neighborhood. Why y'all not tapped in? Like I can't be tapped in with New Era Dallas, and y'all live in Dallas and Fort Worth.
We never heard about them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about that and figure out, because that's really just booking a location and putting a date and doing a flyer and go. That's the type of person I am. I don't overthink nothing. You know what I'm saying? You see all the flyers I be posting. I write it down. That's a date. Let's put a flyer. Let's go.
Let's go. That's what it's about.
And at this stage, this is what we got to do. We can't worry about, oh man, I want 1,000 people. I want 100 people. Hey, I'm doing events. If 20 show up, okay, that lays ground for the next event. Now the next event, we got to get 30 to show. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all small steps in this war that we're fighting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I appreciate we run down an hour. I usually keep my interviews an hour. So as we come into ending, tell us where they can find you or how they can follow you. Give out the any kind of cash outs if they want to donate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Stuff like that. Just let us know about all that information.
Well, if you guys are social media gurus, you can definitely find me on Instagram. It's at New Era Dallas, just like you see on my name or on the tag or whatever. And the logo is a light blue. If you follow sports, it's like Dallas Mavericks. It's a light blue with the fist. Yeah. And that's our logo, representing Black Power, of course. Oh. And that's one way. That's how you follow. We're not on Facebook. We're just mainly on Instagram. You'll see the other chapters because we have over 12 chapters as well. And then in regards to Cash App, if you send an email, because the email is in our bio, I'll send it there because it's a unique. It's actually my personal Cash App because we don't have one separate for the nation. But we do use the funds because, like I said before, these are funds that's coming out of our own pockets. But any donations, you could just send an email to the New Era Dallas 817@gmail.com. Or once again, you can send a DM to the New Era Dallas on Instagram. You'll see my face, so you'll know it's me. It's not a fake page. But yes, and that's where you can get. Yeah, you can get all of the events. Normally, I'm posting flyers about what we're doing. We do have a volunteer group, so if you do want to be a volunteer for this June event we're talking about, definitely let us know by email or DM.
And if y'all have any toys, I'm talking to the people around here in the Central Texas area. I'm already, we got I got my thrift store, so we already gonna give her some toys. Y'all come down, donate some toys to the thrift store. You know what I'm saying? And when she come down, I mean, depending on, I don't want to overload your car or whatever.
No, we need it as many toys as y'all can give because we're doing it for the kids. We focus it on 3rd grade to 8th grade. So any toys, any whatever sports balls, whatever you want to give for that age group, definitely do it because we're gonna need it for June 17th. And we'll have time and locations when you get closer to that as well.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So yeah, toys, anything like that, go support. This is just the first one. I just want to really kind of, because she always, interviewing people or asking people the questions. I want people to get to know who she is and why she do what she do. So that's what this interview about. But so the next time you see us, we're gonna be talking about either an issue or an event or something like that. Because I definitely want her to come back on and you just do your interviews on Instagram.
I do everything on Instagram. But hey, I'm open to other platforms. My personal pages are all pretty much across the board. But yeah, I'm open to other platforms. Whatever we need to do to get the message to the people. So yes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Any last words you want to say before you get off here?
No, just peace and love, y'all. And like I said, if you're able to do the work right where you are, definitely help out Tony where he is. If you have people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, tell them about who I am, where we are. We're always doing the work, and we definitely need the help. So
definitely need that and the support. Y'all make sure y'all find them Cash App. And I'm gonna get all that information. I'm gonna put it in the descriptions too. So if you didn't catch it, just go once I load it up, I'll put it in the descriptions. Well, I appreciate you, sister.
Yes.
And like I say, we're just building because we I guess I've been around with maybe a month or so, 2 months now. Months,
so Tony putting that work in, y'all.
But like and like I say, I'm still at a point where I do the work, but I'm still proving myself to them because and that's big to me. I want to keep saying that because I want us to always feel like we need to. It's not really about proving ourselves. It's about proving that we really do this. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because we get it's a lot of pump faking. There's a lot of people that act like they do
your actions speak. I mean, like I said, I watched you just like you said you watched Zeke. And I always say, look, don't worry about what people saying. Look at how they moving. They actions speak louder than words, period. I know people like my word is my bond, but no, look at how they moving. Is it matching? And your words and your action match. So I know you a man of stature, a man of his word, a man of a lot of things. So yeah, it's like that's what I believe in, your work.
Yeah, we got to put the work in, y'all. That's the word for the day. Work. Go do the work. We're not doing and the work is not protesting. That's
right. That's one small piece of it. You got it's an everyday thing, lifestyle, y'all.
And I'm not knocking protesting. I'm just not gonna be the one protesting. After y'all get through protesting, then y'all can meet me at the House of Resources, and we have a round table, and we'll get to some issues. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The solution.
The solutions, man. Well, I would appreciate everybody that tapped in, everybody that's gonna see it after. Make sure y'all share, like and subscribe to the channel. But all my family in Dallas, I'm calling y'all out. I'm gonna get on the phone with a couple of y'all tonight. June 17th, y'all better show up and represent. But I need y'all to contact, reach out, and figure out how to donate. Figure out how to donate some toys to her. Y'all don't have to send them to me. Y'all already up there with her. You know what I'm saying? So I need my family to definitely tap in. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you coming on. I look forward to doing more of these with you as we build and just get the word out. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't do it, if we don't promote each other and push each other, nobody else gonna do it. You know
absolutely.
Well, you have a great night, and I'll be talking to you soon. Do we got when the next time we have a Zoom or
It's probably gonna be beginning of next month. We always do it
month.
towards the beginning of the month.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I'm a newbie, so I'm still getting used to everything.
That's all right. That's all right. I love it.
I appreciate you.
All right, y'all have a good night. Peace. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye. Thanks, Miss Brown. Yes, collectively, we changing the narrative. It's not just a Temple thing. This is a worldwide thing. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in, and we out.